I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. To play 8. One day I'd like to play 12. When time permits. Thanks. Now that you have a mini gaming PC, I hope we'll have PC exclusives in rotation. For example, there's a 90s point-and-click adventure game that was called Toonstruck. It starred Christopher Lloyd as a cartoonist trapped in the world of his art, kind of like Comic Zone on Genesis. Tim Curry voices the animated villain of the story. Okay, the game sounds familiar, but I've certainly never played it. And again, yeah, I would consider it. I do have a mini PC. It seemed to work well when I played Chrono Trigger, although we didn't get to use it for the Halloween Marathon and test it to see if that Phasmophobia, how it would run on there. You know, it kind of sucks because that was going to be like a good opportunity to actually test it and see. And we didn't get a chance to do anything, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, in the future, I would consider it, I guess. Again, these game suggestions, I get it. Okay, here's a game suggestion. Okay, sure, I guess. Like, I don't know how to respond to it. Obviously, we can't do it now. It's going to be based on requests in the future when we actually have downtime. And now is not the time for that, so I can't really say, yeah, let's play it right now. You know what I mean? Can we get a tips goal to do a 70s style half-open button-up shirt with Vaseline on your chest for $125? I do that all the time already. Play Balers Gate 3 when you're done with Starfield. I've already had 5 zillion people this year say that I should play Balers Gate 3. Listen, my apprehensions with Balers Gate 3 remain exactly the same as the first day when someone said I should play it. We already played Divinity Original Sin 2, and it didn't work, alright? And it's the same style of game. It's not identical, but it's the same style of game. It's a RPG with insane amounts of narrative, slow-paced, right? The combat is slow-paced. You know, and as much as you guys feel like an immersive RPG would make a great playthrough, alright? I look at it and I'm like, you can tell this is the kind of game made for a very dedicated gamer who's going to sit around playing that game nearly non-stop for a month on end, immersing themselves in the world. This game, I don't know how that game would work with my schedule. I'm a variety streamer. I don't just play one game constantly. I play 3-4 games. I have multiplayer games in the mix. I juggle everything around so that there's variety and there's a little something for everyone. With Divinity Original Sin 2, we played 60 hours into the game, and even people who love the game told me to stop playing it. That it was so boring at that point because I wasn't having enough time to dedicate to play it. So that is my apprehension with Baldur's Gate 3. And I think the problem here is, can I be honest? Let me be honest with everybody here, with my opinion here. Here's what I think the problem is, alright? When you are a variety streamer, everyone expects you to play every good game, okay? Excuse me. And that's just the truth. It seems like everyone expects you to play every good game. I cannot play every good game. It's not possible. There's too many games. There's too many formats of games. There's too many ways and avenues to play a game. Games are so lengthy these days that there's just no way that I could realistically play every good game, right? For every good game that I play, I end up missing a good game. You get that, right? Like, I played Lies of P, and I played it not expecting much. It was insanely outstanding, right? And because I played Lies of P, essentially I wasn't really motivated to play the Lords of the Fallen, and that's why I'm not playing the Lords of the Fallen. You see? I'm not saying I'm not playing it ever. I'm saying that's why I'm not playing it now. If I hadn't played Lies of P and skipped it, then maybe I would have been more in line and say, okay, let's do Lords of the Fallen, because I didn't really do the Soulsborne style game with Lies of P. Do you see? Game that's going to work for me. I feel it's going to be another situation where we start it, and the first 10, 20 hours, people are interested, and then they all get bored. And then people stop showing up, they stop engaging, they stop supporting, they're tired with the game. But here I am, I played 20 hours into an 80-hour game, and people, and now, well, aren't you going to keep playing it? Well, where's everyone? People are already done with this game, you know? And it's not representative of the game, it's the style of game, the kind of content that I do. It's hard. It's hard to even maintain people for over 10 hours in a game these days. It really is. And here I am in the midst of Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, and yeah, The attendance, the engagement has fallen off for these playthroughs. Why? Because these games are also damn long these days. Games back in the day when I started on YouTube 10, 15 years ago, on average were 10, 15 hours long tops. Tops. Now most games are 20, 30, 40 hours long. That's very hard to get an audience to engage that long. And now you're expecting me to play an 80-plus hour RPG while I'm juggling other projects as well, because I don't just play one game at a time. You know what I mean? You have to understand where I'm coming from. You have to. Okay? I'm not saying I'm never playing Balers Gate 3. I'm saying I literally don't know how on earth I would play Balers Gate 3 with how long it is and the kind of content I put out. We've tried this with other games. It doesn't work. So if you have a track record and you've seen in history that this kind of stuff doesn't work, then why would you keep trying? Right? I get it. A lot of you like Balers Gate 3 and you like seeing me play the best games of the year. Gotcha. But it doesn't fit my format. It doesn't fit the content I play. So how could I play it and why would I bother? Why would I waste everyone's time, including mine? So there's no way that I could do it right now anyway. But, maybe long term, but I just don't see it happening, being honest. It's not a casualized RPG by any means. So there you go. It's disgusting, and I gotta put up with it. All right. There's two different ways when it comes to merchandise and content creation like I do. Either you find a third-party business that is an on-demand business, okay? What that means is they incur all the production costs whatsoever. It's an on-demand basis. You upload designs, for example. Like I would upload a logo. I would upload a saying. I would upload a design. And people would then be able to apply that design to a variety of merch. T-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, mugs, different color coordinations and things like that. The business themselves incur the production cost. They make the merch on demand per order. Okay? The reason they're able to do that is because they are huge. They bring in tons of business and they have the means to do it. They probably have the printing presses, the software, whatever it needs to do this on the fly, and they can do it on demand per order. All right? In that model, there is no investment or risk from the content creator themselves. I would invest no money into it. It's just you guys go to the site, order the merch. I make a couple bucks off each sale. They make a bunch of money off each sale, and you get a piece of merch. Okay? That's what I always did back in the day with first it was Cafe Press, and then it was Teespring. That's what I did with those businesses. There was never any cost on my end. They incurred the cost. Okay? The other model that you're thinking of is more of the small business model, where I would have to invest a ton of my own money to buy and produce shirts en masse, whether it's shirts, sweatshirts, whatever it would be, and then once I've already pre-purchased them, they are stored somewhere, usually an off-site warehouse, and then people can order them on demand, and they are shipped from that warehouse directly to them, and that's how I make my money on the back end. But that requires me to invest the money first. I've done that before too. I did that over a decade ago when we were making the t-shirts for Project 7. Okay? I invested a ton of money into buying all those t-shirts and pre-producing them in the hopes that we would sell them at conventions and then online. Okay? Now, what you're suggesting, working with a small business, there's not a single small business in the United States of America that is going to say, oh, yeah, we know Darkside Phil. We'll just, of the goodness of our own hearts, produce all of your merchandise completely for free. We'll front all the production cost of everything for you. And therefore, people can just order it out of our warehouse and buy it, because we trust that you're going to sell merchandise. That will never happen. Okay? Small businesses will require you to do the investment model, where you have to put your money into it first, pre-produce all the merch first, and then it's up to you to push that merch and sell it on the internet. Okay? I don't have that money. I don't have any money to invest into merchandise. Zero. I have $0 right now that I could invest in merchandise. Okay? So, that's never going to happen. All right? I have to go for a model of one of these businesses on the internet that are order-based. And sadly, the ones that are out there, I hate to say it, are businesses that are how can I say? I mean, I know this sounds really dumb, but essentially they're kind of left-leaning, meaning if they get bombarded with complaints by my trolls saying, did you know that Phil in the past said this racist thing and said this sexist thing and did that, and then they bombard them with quotes that I did a decade ago, 15 years ago, or out of context quotes of my content that literally that's not what I'm saying, but they make it sound like I am, because anything out of context can make it sound like you said something awful, right? And they bombard them with that shit, and they're gonna, well, we don't want to bother with that. Our business won't be associated with someone like that. And then they just say, okay, well, forget it. We're not gonna partner with you. And they, you know, and the problem is they won't do it up front because all these businesses are automated. So I'll make my page, I'll make a whole page of designs, and everyone will start to order. And then all of a sudden they'll get 400 troll complaints, and then they'll just shut my page down. So all that work and effort of someone designing merch and stuff for me, and then me loading it in there and setting it up, and everyone's placing orders, and then they all get canceled. So what's the point? Right? That's the thing. I've asked you guys, are there any third-party sites that will consider doing this? And people sent me some suggestions. None of them are, like, one of them was like, you need to have over 1 million subscribers on your YouTube channel or social network for us to do business with you. That's what it said. And I was like, well, I don't have that. I have 200,000 on my YouTube channel, right? I mean, if you combine all my YouTube channels together and my social media, maybe I've got like 300,000, 350 tops. I'm nowhere near 1 million. So without having that level of clout, I guess, these businesses won't do business with you. And the ones that are out there that are the freebies, they all just bend over to complaints of it. And you know, my trolls will always just lie and say fucked up stuff about me. That's not true. And these idiots just believe it because they'd rather err on the side of caution than get in trouble, I guess, for selling merch from someone who's considered, you know, a racist or something, which you guys know I'm not. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I can't work with a small business to do merch. As much as the suggestion seems like it would work, it would not work. Okay? Let's continue. Let's see here. It's been a while since you did a Game Pass marathon. So many different games will be fun to do again. Dark Tide, Call of the Wild, The Angler, Party Animals, Lamplighters League, Broforce, and many more. Let's do it. Alice Madness Returns. You played in 2011. It would be awesome to see it run. All right. Can I be honest with you guys? You guys suggesting games for me to play is a waste of everybody's time. Yours and mine. I'm not playing those games right now. Right now, it's the middle of the busiest gaming season of the year. I'm backlogged on the new games I'm playing. There's more new games coming out. There's new games I skipped. I'm not playing a Game Pass marathon right now. So, I get it, but your suggestions like that are something for when there's downtime, not for now. So, putting it in the suggestion box now is a waste of your and my time. Investment to do it. And I've been there, done that. I've invested all that time, effort, money, skill, all that into it at one point in my life when I was in my 20s. And after the end of doing that for many, many years, I determined even then that was too much of a waste of all my life putting into Street Fighter. I didn't see the benefit, right? Even if today I were to be signed by an esports team to travel the world and all that, I still don't think it would be worth it. I still feel like there's not enough of a benefit, right? It's too much of a sacrifice. It means I wouldn't be able to spend time with my family. I wouldn't be able to put out the kind of content that I like for you guys, the variety of content. What's the point? So, go to locals and try to get good. And why? Why? I don't even understand it. The gimmick would last one tournament. Phil went to one tournament and he either did good or he didn't or whatever, and then no one cares. So, I don't get it. Like, what are we even talking about? Okay. Okay. Anyway, that's a lot of suggestions we've gone through. I think for today we will pause the suggestion box. That was a good 40 minutes of suggestions. Okay. Now, I would love to hear feedback. If you heard any of my responses to the suggestions and you want to follow up, leave comments on this video. Please give me your feedback and let me know what you think about what we just talked about. I need feedback. It's not just me talking to you. It's us having a dialogue. I want to hear what you think it is would be the benefit. For example, that whole idea of member Mondays or whatever. I don't get it. I just don't understand how that would work for me. That sounds like something that works for a giant streamer who's in demand. I'm not a giant streamer who's in demand. So how would that work for me, right? Again, what works for everyone else who's 10 times, 20 times, 50 times bigger than me does not work for me. I'm